Before we begin, please take a second to subscribe to the channel. It really helps support more powerful stories like this. Now, let me tell you what happened. 17 years of silence shattered in one cruel laugh. I hadn't even stepped fully into the wedding hall when my father's voice cut through the music loud enough for nearby guests to hear. "Well, look who finally showed up," he said, smirking. "I didn't think you could afford a dress like that." Brooke. My name is Brooke Ramirez, and that man was the same father who kicked me out of his house at 18 with a trash bag of clothes and a single sentence: "Don't come back until you're someone worth being proud of." I hadn't seen him since. I came to my brother Daniel's wedding only because Daniel begged me. He said time had softened things. He said dad had changed. The moment I walked in, I knew that wasn't true. My father looked me up and down like I was still the scared teenager he'd dethrone. "So," he said, swirling his drink, "what are you doing these days? Still jumping from job to job?" People around us went quiet. I felt a familiar burn in my chest, the old shame trying to crawl back. For a second, I almost apologized out of habit. But then I remembered the 17 years. 17 years of sleeping on couches, 17 years of working nights and studying mornings, 17 years of failing, learning, building, and surviving without a single call from him. I took a breath and simply said, "I'm doing fine." That made him laugh. "Fine," he repeated loudly. "That's what people say when they've got nothing." Daniel looked uncomfortable. Guests pretended not to listen, and I stood there realizing I didn't come to prove anything. I came to support my brother. So I walked away. The ceremony was beautiful. Daniel cried, the crowd clapped, and then came the reception. My father gave a speech full of pride about family and raising successful children. When he mentioned Daniel as his greatest achievement, his eyes flicked toward me just long enough to remind me where I stood. Then the bride took the microphone. Her name was Alina. She smiled at Daniel, then turned to the guests. "Before dinner," she said, "there's someone I want to acknowledge." Her eyes locked on mine. "My husband wouldn't be the man he is without his sister," Elena said clearly. When Daniel was struggling years ago, when he had no one to turn to, Brooke took him in. She paid his tuition. She believed in him when others didn't. The room stirred. My father's smile faded. Elena continued, her voice steady. "What many of you don't know is that Brooke built her own company from nothing. She's the reason my wedding planner, the caterer, and even this venue are here tonight, because she recommended them, because she owns the firm that manages all three." A gasp rippled through the room. My father slowly stood up, confusion written all over his face. "What?" he muttered. Elena looked straight at him. "Sir, you once told Brooke she'd never be anything, but tonight, this wedding exists because of her, and Daniel and I are grateful she's here." Silence. Heavy. Complete. All eyes turned to my father. He opened his mouth, then closed it. For the first time in my life, he had nothing to say. Daniel came over and hugged me, whispering, "I'm sorry I ever doubted you." I didn't feel victory. I felt peace, because the truth was simple. I didn't need his approval anymore. I had built a life so strong that his mockery couldn't touch it. 17 years ago, he kicked me out. That night, I finally walked past him, free. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more.